It's definitely changed the way weddings have been happening. And I spoke earlier to a wedding planner about how couples are rethinking how they're tying the knot.
Planning a wedding in and of itself is quite stressful and quite a feat. So in the middle of the pandemic, the challenges are unlimited, it seems. But what I often am seeing with couples is that they've envisioned, you've often envisioned a larger wedding with all of your friends and family, and all the things that you would consider typical or normal pre-pandemic are now off the table. And so I'm seeing couples reduce their guest count, limiting it down to family and friends, and really just re-envisioning the day as a whole. Things, again, that were once common and expected were not an option. And many couples were still wanting to get married. And so they were faced with, what are we going to do about this? And so we're seeing a lot smaller, more intimate weddings with friends and family. And even as a wedding planner, more so than normal during the pandemic, I was so aware of how couples were feeling and wanting to move forward, and just as how they were adapting with the stress of wedding planning. So definitely quite a few challenges. So yeah.
Yeah, I have a cousin who had to postpone twice. She ended up just eloping. She's like, maybe we'll have a wedding someday. But what are some of the new wedding trends and types of celebrations, something new that you're seeing out there? Other than being small, of course.
Yeah, that sounds very typical. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I see a lot of that when couples are having to plan or cancel or postpone their wedding. Just in general, they kind of are like, eloping sounds like the best option right now, which I don't even blame them for. But a lot of the new trends that I'm seeing, again, in line with eloping, is things that were once not really an option, not really something people wanted to do as frequently. Now they are things. Everything is on the table, it feels as though. So we're seeing a variety of weddings. We're seeing smaller, more intimate backyard weddings that are a little bit more luxurious and elevated. They might be smaller, but oftentimes it means that couples are not spending less money. They're still wanting those intentional, creative, purposeful moments that really make their wedding stand out. I've seen some really unique things where people are doing more custom napkins or custom favors. So like a custom blanket or wine glass for their guests, which I've seen those on Shutterfly.com, and those have been so cute and easy to implement. And of course, those are not an option when you're inviting hundreds of people, but when you've got a smaller guest count, you do have the flexibility to do that. So I think there's been quite a few changes in the wedding industry, a lot more intentionality, a lot smaller celebrations, but I don't necessarily think it is for bad.
Right. What are some other concerns that you've been seeing, like maybe when to send invites or book venues, hire vendors?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm seeing a lot more couples asking those questions earlier on in the process, because 2022 is going to be quite a record year for weddings in the wedding industry. And so what I'm seeing is that what I encourage is right off the bat, when you get engaged, you are going to want to set your budget. Of course, you want to celebrate, enjoy it before you jump into the planning, but you're going to want to set your budget, because a wedding is the time and place where it's so easy to spend all of your money, which is so fun to do. But it's good to set a budget, and then you're going to want to lock in a venue. Once you lock in your venue, you have your date. And so once you have your date, you can start booking other vendors, so your photographer, florist, really the people that are going to be working your wedding and bringing it to life. And then when it comes to save the dates and invites, I'm seeing those go out actually earlier than I have seen before, I think, because couples are aware of the fact that there are quite a few weddings happening next year. Shutterfly has so many beautiful invites and save the dates that really just make it so easy to send those out. So I always encourage save the dates going out within a year of the wedding, and then invites go out a few months before.
Okay, good tips. Thank you. But how can couples navigate COVID restrictions? Do you have any advice for that?
Right. Yeah. I think it all comes down to your personal decision and what you personally value. I just encourage having a lot of honest conversations and really feeling out where your county or your city and how they're dealing with it. I definitely encourage a lot of date nights or lots of time where you are not talking about the wedding, where you're resting a little bit, because it can get quite overwhelming. So yeah.
All right. Well, where can we go for more information?
Yeah, a great place to go is going to be shutterfly.com/wedding.
All right. Thank you so much for your time today. I will admit, too, we did a little photo album through Shutterfly, and it was wonderful. So thank you again.
Oh, cute. Yeah, of course. Happy to be here. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. And if you'd like to see this segment again, just head on over to firstcoastliving.net.